Now then, after all that about what's going on behind the scenes, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be underwhelmed by this. Or actually, I don't know, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll see it for what it is and be impressed by the sheer simplicity. We'll see. So I've spoken at a few events where I'm at the front and asked for a couple of volunteers, one who likes cookies and one who's never deployed a swarm before. Then I put up this slide and I tell everyone that the swarm node's going to build all of this before the other guy can eat 5 cookies. And the swarm guy wins every time. Well, except for this one time when the swarm guy couldn't use the touchpad on my laptop, but never mind. I'm on a Linux node and it's currently in single engine mode. We can see somewhere here. Yeah, swarm inactive. That means single engine mode. So to initialize a new swarm, make this the leader in CA, issue a client certificate, create, distribute and encrypt a cluster store, and create the join tokens and certificate rotation policy, we go Docker swarm init. That's it. Done. Serious. Check this again. Okay, we are swarm active. Then we've got a crypto node ID, it's a manager, bunch of other stuff, Raft, and then the CA config. A quick Docker node ls tells us it's the only node in the swarm. It's ready, active, and it's the leader. Alright, but a single node swarm's a bit boring. Let's add some more managers. Well, we need the manager join token for that, so Docker swarm join token, manager. We can put worker here for the worker token. But there's the full join command, token and all, so we'll have that, thanks. Switch to node 2. And that's it. Yeah, a 2-node swarm. You can run swarm commands like this on any manager node. And node 2 here is showing as reachable in the manager column. That means it's a follower manager, right? Leaders show as leader, followers as reachable. Now, of course, it's got its own client certificate and a copy of the cluster store. But 2's the worst number for managers, right? Well, maybe 100's worse, but 2's bad for split brains, so let's have a third. Easy as pie, right? And 2 becomes 3. And 3's a decent number. So a 3-node swarm with 3 managers configured for HA. Love it. Well, adding a worker's the same. We just need the worker join token this time. Have that. And there we go. And it's a worker, right? Now, workers cannot query the cluster store. There we go. But if we run that on a manager here, right, 4 nodes. And the empty manager status field here means that this node is a worker. Now, we can take that same join command and token and run it on a Windows node. And that's it. A hybrid Linux Windows swarm. Brilliant. Now, we've got the join command and the worker token on the clipboard. So let's have a go at rotating that worker token. I don't know, assume it's been compromised. Well, rotating it is just a Docker swarm join token, tell it to rotate, and worker. Got to run it on a manager though, okay? But that there is the new token. So if we try and join another worker here with the old one that we've got on the clipboard, no to the joino. But look at the swarm here. Existing node membership is unaffected. So the old token can't be used anymore, it's rotated out. But existing workers, ones that were joined with the old token, they're cool. They don't get bumped, they get to stay. Now, if we want to look at the client certificates, we just run this OpenSSL command. And in the subject field here, the organization is the swarm ID, the organizational unit is the node's role, swarm manager, and the canonical name is the cryptographic node ID. Brilliant. Well, let's have a look at the join tokens now. First up, swarm token here identifies what it is, and you can pattern match on that to stop them being accidentally posted on your website or whatever. Then this long string is a hash of the cluster's certificate. Mutual authentication, right? And then the bit after the dash is the bit that determines if it's going to be admitted as a worker or a manager. So we see that the two are identical, right, except for this last field. The bit before the dash, that obviously matches because they're from the same swarm. It's the bit at the end that rotates when you rotate tokens. Now then, we've got all this security going on, mutual TLS and encrypted this and that, and it's all good, yeah. But restarting a manager or restoring an old backup both present a couple of concerns. So, Docker gives you the option to lock a swarm. It's called auto lock. At a high level, it stops restarted managers from automatically rejoining the swarm and then subsequently loading the encryption keys into memory and decrypting the raft logs and the likes. It also stops you from automatically restoring an old copy of the cluster config. And when I say stop, I mean it makes you enter the unlock key first. Let's have a look. First up, right, auto lock is not enabled by default. So you either give the Docker swarm init command the -- auto log flag, or you do what we're going to do and you auto lock an existing swarm. So we're on a manager here and we go Docker swarm update, then -- auto lock equals true. And that's the unlock key. Keep it safe, yeah? Anyway, the swarm's locked. So if I go service docker restart, it's only for managers, right? Because they get access to all the privileged stuff. Anyway, let's inspect the cluster. Aha! So, we're not back in yet. Everything's still protected. So like the raft logs on the node and the likes, they're still encrypted, so safe. Well, to rejoin the swarm, we go docker swarm unlock, and then we give it that key. Should be good now if we try that again. And yeah, we are good. So that's swarm auto lock, and it only affects restarting managers. Workers are not impacted. Oh, and the process of joining a new manager, that doesn't change. Just join them as normal. And I think that's all I wanted to say. 2 simple commands to create a solid, secure swarm. Docker swarm init to initialize a new cluster and set up all the required constructs and security stuff. Then Docker swarm join to add new nodes. Oh, right, yeah. To update the certificate expiry time, we just go Docker swarm update again, -- cert expiry, and then whatever you want. 2 days, yeah, whatever. Quick Docker system info. And there we go. 2 days. Great stuff. All right, time for a quick look at orchestration. But it will be quick, right? Because we've got a whole module on it later in the course.